Hey, everybody, it's Friday. We gotta get down on Friday. That's right, Scout. We're gonna get so down. We're gonna get ready to clown. This mixer is routed to something else, so I can't lower the volume anymore. That's right, Scout. Let's get loud. Jennifer Lopez, let's get loud. That's her, right? She does that song? I'm your host.
I think so.
Today, Jan, Choa, Scout, get with the program. We're not getting loud anymore. Come on. I'm fading the music down, Scout. Get with it. Welcome to Bombcast Revengeance. I'm your host, Janet Choa. This is powered by N6T. Co-captain of the ship, joining me as always, Jeff Grubb.
Hello. I tell you what, it's not one of my favorite things. That Pal World. I'm okay on that. You can just stay where it's at.
All right. The ultimate pal in our world, Timur Hussein.
Hello, I will like to capture humans.
Speaking about humans capturing things, she's captured our hearts, minds, and our attention, Lucy James.
Call me Depresso. That's my pal name.
And speaking about Depresso, he's here, folks. Jeff Baclar.
I'm not depressed.
You make other people depressed. I call you I call you the Despresso Espresso.
You do?
Espresso.
Do you
like
don't
a little shot of depression.
You don't say that to my face. You just say that behind my back. Or
mostly.
It's like a new
Stacy and people. Around
revelation. Who's got Pal World in the fantasy is what I want to know.
Nikki stole it from me.
Sucks to suck, I guess.
Hey, is Jeff
Notorious
Baclar Charlie
thief,
Brown
Nikki.
coded? Like, is he the
No, I can't be every fucking cartoon. I can't be every cartoon. Okay, I'm Mr. Slate. I'm fucking. Who is the guy from yesterday? C-3PO, who's essentially a cartoon. Let's be honest. No more of these, please. I can't be Charlie Brown.
I do not think of C-3PO. You are not C-3PO coded, but you are Charlie Brown coded as.
Oh, you know what? Maybe.
I think you're Elmer Fudd coded.
Elmer,
I think you're Elmer Fudd coded.
Fucking like southern like hunter hillbilly. Like what are we doing?
I think it's Appalachian, actually. Yeah.
What are we doing? There's something else going on here, folks. There's something else. There's another conspiracy at play here. You're all projecting your freakish little character, cartoon, likes into me.
Well, okay.
Can you imagine Jeff Baclar hunting Bugs Bunny? It works perfectly.
No, it doesn't, Tam. You are actually wrong with that take. How about that?
I gotta go pick up my kid. Where's his fucking rabbit?
That's not Elmer Fudd. Elmer Fudd is like, I'm hunting wabbits. That's Elmer Fudd.
Wow,
who are you?
Wow, that sounded really good.
Who are you talking about?
Sean, can you please ISO that clip later? Thank you.
Oh my fucking Christ.
All right, can we just entertain the Charlie Brown thing real quick? Who's the Snoopy of the crew then? Who's the Snoopy? Who's the Snoopy?
It was Rory. It was Rory.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, actually, it was Rory.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Rory would be the dude with like the cloud, the dirt cloud around him. I feel like.
Yeah, Pigpen.
Yeah.
Post Malone. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't wear like shoes either, right? Like.
Actually, no. Someone in Twitch chat, J Train said Jan is Snoopy, which I actually agree with.
Yeah,
because cool dude. Also, you got like the Joe Cool stuff going on. Red Baron. You're Jan of many talents.
Sean is my Woodstock then.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Who am I?
Who are you?
And then I would be Lucy. I'd be Lucy.
You would be Lucy.
I would be Lucy.
You would be.
I don't know, Tim. Who's the person who turns his back on all of his friends in Charlie Brown? I don't know if I got that character.
Definitely not Linus.
Oh, you're all thinking it. Just say Franklin, okay? Just say Franklin.
No. Because come on, Nikki has to be Franklin.
Is Franklin just like not white? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone in Giant Bomb chat says that Tam is actually Lucy, and that's true.
Actually,
really good.
That is actually
Because she's
really
like an
true.
agent of chaos, right?
Yeah.
She
I would
takes
be
the
like-
football away. Yep, that's you, Tim.
Oh, what the hell's Charlie Brown's sister called?
Lucille or something? No.
No,
Sherman.
No, just like the little
Sally.
I would be Sally. I'd be like
Franklin's father was a soldier fighting in Vietnam. Jesus,
Yeah, that's
Christ.
how old the Peanuts are.
I didn't realize it went that deep with Mr. Scholes.
We still got to go to that museum, friends.
We have to go to the museum.
Yes, we have to. What's the other Van Pelt's name? Is it
Scott Van Pelt? He does Sports Center.
No, he's
11
the
during
other. Because there's a little younger brother, isn't there?
What?
Whose little brother?
Linus.
Linus and Lucy. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, there's another one, isn't there?
Are you thinking of Schroeder?
No,
Who's the one that Lucy's in love with?
Dick about Charlie
Plays the-
Brown.
I didn't go to Catholic school, so I didn't see a lot
Yeah,
of
see,
these.
look, there's. Oh, okay, it's because like no one remembers this dude. Rerun Van Pelt.
Who?
Oh my
What about-
god.
Rerun Van Pelt.
Is that the
Oh,
dude?
is that Lucy's brother?
Lucy and Linus's brother, yeah.
I'm sorry, Charlie Brown sucks. Like,
Oh,
shut
you
up.
take that
You
back.
shut your
Have you
whole
watched? I watched that
mouth.
Christmas shit one of the other seasons. It is so
Christmas season?
dull and boring and fucking depressing. It's like
Yes, that's
Yeah,
what
that's
it
why I
is.
like
it's
it.
that's why you like it, and I'm Mr. Depresso. Get out of
No,
here.
I introduced myself as Depresso. Call me a Depresso Martini.
I'm right. Everyone says I'm right. I'm right.
I want to be.
You've heard it. You've heard it.
Charlie Brown the musical is also very good. You should check it out. It's fun, folks. We're here today. We're actually not going to talk about video. we're actually not going to talk about video games on this video game podcast / website. Grub, you threw this in the idea hopper for BCR topics this week of best things, top 10 things that are not games, and I get down with this because you need to be a fully fleshed out person to be a whole person, right? Well-rounded person. That's the perfect circle that Indiana Jones is talking about.
So I have a list that's 90% movies. There we go.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, mine's a mix.
I mixed in a few things there.
So,
yeah.
and not gonna lie, this idea, I think we were also throwing it around during our Monday meeting, partially inspired by the /Filmcast. Shouts out to those gents. Shall we get on with the list?
Yeah, absolutely.
Should we go 1 through 10 for all of us, or like take turns like Serpentine?
Take turns.
Go around the room.
All right.
Yeah, take turns.
Grub, would you feel comfortable starting?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to start with the book, Going Infinite by Michael Lewis. I like all Michael Lewis's books. He's the one that did like The Big Short and stuff like that. I've recommended it in a few places. This is the one about Sam Bankman-Fried. It documents sort of his rise and then the very sudden collapse, although there were a lot of hints and a lot of signs if you were paying attention about how that was going to go down. It's mostly a profile of a person who's like completely just has no interest in any sort of rules or any sort of doing things by the book and keeping things above board. It's like, yeah, there's like $7 billion around here somewhere. We'll find it. And that's not really great for finance. And it tells the whole story of that. And it was really, really fascinating. Just like all Michael Lewis's books are. One day it'll probably be a movie and you'll get to watch it that way. But I really like it reading his books.
Grub, do you read shoot books or like ebooks, audiobooks?
I'm listening to a lot of audiobooks most of the time, but for these I usually do the thing where it's like I have the audiobook synced with the shoot book on an e-reader. Yeah. Shit. And then do both of that.
That sounds neat. Okay.
Yeah,
Jeff.
I did that with what was the Project Hail Mary, the one from the guy that did The Martian. I did that. And that was very good.
Oh, Andy Weir.
Yes.
Okay. This I say every year is going to be a big book year. I legitimately think this year is going to be a big book year.
Let's do it.
I moved from Goodreads to Storygraph if you like apps that kind of track your reading, and I really like Storygraph because it looks so much more aesthetically pleasing.
Wait, is it like you like use it to track your books?
Yeah, so you can do stuff that you want to read, stuff that you're reading, and then it also gives you insights on your reading habits, but you can import all your Goodreads information, so it's cool.
It's also you can track how far you're along by the page, which I like.
Oh, that's cute. I like
wow,
that. I
I'm
like that.
surprised you haven't put together some sort of Notion situation for this, Lucy. I'm disappointed.
Jeff Baclar, what is your number one thing?
I don't really have one, but I just wrote a bunch of things that I really enjoyed, and I'm gonna put
like Charlie Brown behavior.
That's not Charlie Brown. Just sounds concussed all the time. I really like the film Poor Things, and even though I saw it technically in 2024, it came out in 2023, so I'm using it in my list. It was phenomenal. it made me believe in filmmaking again. It restored all my faith in that medium, and I'm very happy that this was allowed to get made. I think that's the biggest challenge, is getting artistic stuff getting off the ground, and this is one of the strangest mainstream things I've ever seen, and I'm very happy it exists. I'm very happy it got made. I don't want to say anything about it because I just think it's too good to spoil. So I will just say it's a phenomenal piece of work from start to finish. Really, a really sort of smart way of communicating some important themes and notions, and I'm very happy it is a thing. So if you have not seen it, go see it. I don't know if it's out like on
it's still in cinemas.
Stuff. Yeah,
still in
I
cinema.
was right. Yeah, so I was able to check it out in like a screening kind of thing. So I'm cool, whatever. And yeah, go see it. It's amazing. It's phenomenal. Or wait till it comes out to streaming. It's great.
Agreed.
Yeah.
The
We
first
went to
thing.
see it at the Alamo a couple of weeks ago, and it was phenomenal.
Hey, not to spoil anything, but Emma Stone's outfits in that movie. Whew,
Oh my
amazing.
God! Like
Incredible.
it's just one of 40,000
The costuming in
phenomenal
that
things.
movie, yeah.
Like it's just some of the imagery is just so ethereal and like you're just like, man, how did that come out? How like you're like, okay, I could. It's like you have these things in your head, right? You're like, wow, I wish the thing that I'm picturing in my head could be seen by everyone else, and it seems like they did that. It seems like they were able to somehow like print out cognitive abstract stuff, and that to me it was like, wow. And I saw it stone cold sober. Okay, that's
Is anyone else a little bit scared hearing Jeff talk so positively about something?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Are you okay?
How do I talk about Cowboy Bebop? Right? Come
That's
on.
fair, that's fair, that's
Come
fair.
on. So, but yes, like, please go see Poor Things.
Yeah.
I don't
great.
know if it's winning things. I think it's nominated for a bunch of stuff. Who cares?
She already won the was
Golden
it the Emmy
Globe.
or the Golden
Oh, she
Globe
won-
for
she
Best
won a
Actor.
Gigi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think she won the
Good for
Critics'
her.
Choice as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
she did.
It's so good. And I love Rama Youssef is in it as well. I love Rama Youssef, and yeah,
I thought
just go
Ruffalo-
check it
Mark
out.
Ruffalo was
Ruffalo
incredible.
was so
Ah,
funny.
he was
Did not
funny.
know he
It's
had it in him.
Yeah.
It's a funny movie. Like I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I found myself laughing. Again, we're already saying too much. We're already saying
Yeah.
too much.
If you like The Favorite, The Lobster, The Great, written by the same guy, directed by the guy who directed the movies, it's phenomenal.
I think it's Yorgos' best movie. Okay.
Yes, I would agree.
My number
I
one.
want to watch them.
Wait,
again.
should we go for the bottom and we'll work our way up, Jan?
No, yeah. The first thing on my list, I should say.
Oh, gotcha.
This is an unordered list in terms of
Gotcha.
my 10. But mine is also a movie. We talked about this actually last week, I believe, on Voicemail Dump Truck. The first thing on my list is Past Lives.
Mm.
I forgot to put that on my list.
Oh no.
Oh no, I was on a plane and I cried.
Yeah,
I wept. that
I
movie.
distinctly remember before we all got on the train, we met in the office, and then Lucy had asked me, have I seen Past Lives? And I told her, if you have ever been in a situation where you had a childhood crush or a very close friend, fucking absolutely avoid that movie. And yeah, I talk about a fucking directorial debut. Greta Lee is a fucking murders in that movie. I forget the Korean actor's name, but absolute fucking powerhouse of a movie. Just feeling absolutely devastated and empty, but also kind of content with it. It's one of those feelings that I tend to try and chase, of breaking myself down completely and destroying myself so I can rebuild and just look at the puzzle pieces that was me.
Mhm.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And it's a very quick movie. It's like a tight 90,
Yeah.
very small cast. You can sit through it. I believe it is on streaming now, Past Lives. But also, if you were recently getting over a relationship or something similar to that, maybe avoid it for a little
Stay
bit.
away, right?
Yeah.
Don't do it.
You recommended it on a podcast or something, and then I'm like, oh, Stace, let's watch it. She's like, I watched it already, and then I'm just like, well, I guess I can't watch it now. That's just kind of how it works in my house.
Fair enough.
But yeah, tight 90. I'm all about those tight 90s. Let's get in and out. We've got things to do, people to see, food to eat. Tight 90s. Let's go.
Timur Hussein.
I'll continue the theme of doing movies and say Godzilla -1.
Yeah.
Hey, that's one of my things.
That's one of mine too.
What an incredible film. I feel like most people know Godzilla for the Western versions of the character, sadly. But obviously the creators in Japan have a much closer connection to why Godzilla is meaningful, unlike most Western audiences or movie makers who are like, big thing, stompy. This is like, Japan still has surprisingly, all these years later, an incredible ability and knack for exploring the symbolism and the themes behind Godzilla in a way that is far more meaningful than anything anyone outside of that territory can do. And it's a companion kind of film to Shin Godzilla, which I think is also incredible. Shin Godzilla is about how bureaucracy kind of holds up the process of protecting people and solving the issue of a giant being monstrosity just suddenly appearing. And the entire time, like that, you see how inept big government and is to deal with stuff like that, and how like personal egos take over. Godzilla -1 is the flip side of that, where it is the same situation, but instead of the government and authorities doing it, the people have come to terms with the fact that the government is incapable of doing it, and it's just a small group of ordinary human beings just trying to figure out how they can deal with this seemingly insurmountable challenge. And the way they kind of weave the story of a kamikaze pilot, Japanese kamikaze pilot, who kind of absconds and doesn't fulfill his duty and has to live with the shame of that, and how they give him an arc of redemption, and how it ties into the appearance of Godzilla is like writing and cinema on a level that is just like impeccable.
It sort of redeems the whole country in a way, like the way that they dealt with that, not just the pilot himself. They like tie that together really well. It's very very moving. I saw people compare it to Top Gun, the recent Top Gun, in terms of like its ability to like get to emotions, and it's like, well, yes, it does that, but on a whole other level. It's like way above that even.
Yeah, it is fantastic.
Lucy James.
Hello. So I'm gonna take us out of the movie book zone. I'm gonna go music. So last year I really got into the band Health.
Okay.
And they released a new album just before Christmas called Rat Wars. And I think everyone knows me. I'm a very big Nine Inch Nails fan. And I think
Go on. Go on. Who?
Yep. And my gateway was a friend of mine who said, hey, Nine Inch Nails did a song with this band called Health. Started listening to it. Mechanized. Yep, you absolutely clocked it. Is it because of the collab with Resna? And so that's why I started listening to it. And then I started listening to a bunch of their stuff. And I think last year was when I kind of got really way more into Gary Newman, Depeche Mode, bands like that.
Cool.
I don't know how to say the name, Perturbator or something. I don't know.
Perturbator?
Yeah.
Yes, that one. And so I'm trying to be... My thing is that like I will listen to the same music over and over again. Like Spotify Wrapped every year is some collaboration, some mix of Interpol, Beck, In Excess, Nine Inch Nails, and maybe Maximo Park. Anyway, so super glad to find Health. Really, just great music to just work to.
My favorite genre.
Yeah, but also just like. There are some that you just can't help but sing along to. Super excited. We've got tickets to go see them in April.
Hell yeah.
And I am stoked. And like they did the Max Payne 3 soundtrack. I don't know. I think that kind of industrial music just really works with the way that my brain does. And yeah, the tagline is horny music for sad people.
Bravo.
And my Gav Murphy, friend of ours, got me a shirt that just says that. And so I'm stoked. So that's my musical thing. Also, I'm super, super annoyed. because we were supposed to go see Gary Newman last year.
Oh wow!
And then my cat got sick, and I couldn't go. And so I'm super, super sad because I really, really wanted to go see Gary Newman. I think he's touring again, actually. So maybe this year I will finally get to go. I have seen Carpenter Brute live years ago, but I don't.
I love Carpenter Brute. That's awesome.
I'll add them to my list. I'm definitely this year. I'm trying to do in 2021. I did a no replay, no rewatch year to kind of try and push me to do more things and not just rely on the same old things. And I'm trying to do that not as intensely as I did it in 2021, but I'm trying to do that more in 2024, like experience new.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sad music for horny people. That was it. Yeah.
Jeff Grubb, back to you, sir.
Yeah, I am going to go with a streaming service, ESPN Plus, which is I actually have part of like Disney and Hulu and ESPN Plus, and I like it because it's enabled me to watch a lot of hockey. It's been it's just included with ESPN Plus, and I've been able to watch every Red Wings game because of it. I'm out of the Detroit market, so it means it shows up on there for me, and I've watched every single game for the last several years. But it's just the service is surprisingly good. It's it's a streaming app, so it's not perfect. You will encounter some errors every now and again, but for the most part, it works like 95% of the time. And I'm really happy with it because it's like I don't have to try to track down these games illegally online, or I don't have to try to subscribe to some super expensive service. It's like, no, it's just built right in here, and it's been real nice. I think 2023 was a year where I'm like, I'm just gonna let myself get back into sports. I don't have a ton of time for a lot of other hobbies. Sports are these things where it's like they come around, and it feels like something I can make an appointment to go watch, and it breaks up the monotony of everything else that I have to do that is very routine. And it's like, okay, this is something to get excited about, and having this as an option to make it very easy to keep up with one of my teams has been fantastic.
The monotony.
The monotony, yes.
Jeff Backlar.
Back to me. What about, did you go?
We're going down like the Discord window on the Bombcast layout here.
I would like to call out drums. Drums were as in the instrument. I this time last year got for my birthday a digital drum set, and it's changed my life in a very positive way. And
does it change Stacy's in a very negative way?
You know what? I want you to talk to her.
I will.
And you ask her how it's been going. And I think
it's good. It's going to be good.
I think she would give you an overwhelmingly positive review of how it's been going. Now, look, it's digital, so like I can put headphones on and no one can hear me play really. So like I didn't get an acoustic drum set because I'm not a fucking animal. I can't do that to my family and my dog, right? But no, like I think I've talked about this. Like I've had him for a while. Like it's something I've just kept up with, and I'm okay. Like I'm good enough to just like keep a beat and like do the thing, and it's become like a real sort of like bonding thing with the family and friends when they come over. We just listen to a lot of music and play along with a lot of songs, and it's just something I've always wanted to do, just to like noodle around on it, and it's been great. I love it. It's great to blow off steam. I feel like Joe from Empire Records a lot.
Good.
I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Oh, what a pull.
Yeah,
right?
goals.
Where he's just like, oh, I'm upset. I'm going to go in my office and do a bad, like sort of drum miming to that AC/DC song. But I've put that song in my playlist, and I've been doing that as well. So yeah, it's great. I don't know what else to say. I think it's just fun to listen to new music and revisit old music where you're like, I think I can play this.
Nice.
And, it's like 3 decades of air drumming is actually teaching me to keep rhythm in a weird way. So there you go. Drums, number 2 on my list.
Number 2 on my list is also music related. I got all the way into Noah Khan this past year in 2023. I'm a big fan of stomp clapping music, so anything that sounds adjacent to the Lumineers or Mumford and Sons, right up my fucking alley. Oh my God.
Really?
I fucking love folksy, sad white people music, man.
Yeah.
It fucking
No,
speaks to
folksy
me.
and sad like the whites.
Exactly.
Wait, like,
Yeah.
oh, that's okay. I think I knew that. I guess the whole Janford and Sons. Okay,
Wait.
it's tracks. This tracks.
Yes.
Jan, it's more country and less folksy, but have you heard the album by Robert Plant and Alison Krauss?
No.
Raising Sands, I think it's called.
Okay.
It is one of the best albums.
Ooh,
It's
that
one of my
sounds
favorite
fantastic.
albums of all time. Their voices are so beautiful together. And if you just want to feel sad and a little folksy and a little country, please listen to that.
Fantastic. Y'all know I'm a big fan of Olivia Rodrigo, so I wound up finding Noah Kahn because she did a cover of Stick Season on like NPR Music or something.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So I found Noah Kahn. I was devastated that he performed at last year's Outside Lands that I was at, but I didn't choose to see him because I didn't know who the fuck he was at the time. God, he's done so many remixes of his songs with other artists I enjoy. He has a remix to one of his songs with Post Malone, and Post Malone is entering the folk world now, and that's kind of cool.
I don't think he's entering it now. I think he's been there for a really long time.
He's been there. He's
people think
his
he's
legs
like
out.
a hip hop rap artist, but this guy's he's very much not. He's like folksy country.
He's a sad white dude as well.
Yeah.
Oh yes, one of the saddest white dudes.
But the thing that got me is I was high out of my mind, and I was listening to his discography, and then I had like similar to Past Lives, where I had like a weird semi-emotional breakdown. There was a specific lyric in Stick Season, and as soon as I heard it and like it registered with me, I was like, "Fuck, this is bit okay. I'm okay being in my 30s now. All right, shit."
Okay.
It was the lyric. So I thought that if I piled something good on all of my bad, that I could cancel out the darkness I inherited from my dad. And then I was like,
oh bro.
Fuck bars. All right.
And that's my number 2. Thank you, Noah Kahn.
Hell yeah.
Tam.
Good job.
Tam.
Me?
Tam.
Oh,
Yes.
my go? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't hear you say anything. Well, let me see. What do we do? Let me see if I can find something. Okay, I can stick with the music angle and say JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown released an
That's
album
another one of
called
mine, Tam.
Scaring the Hose. Which is a really apt title for this thing. Obviously people know the meme, which is like, yo, stop talking about Bloodborne, you're scaring the hose. And like in the club sense, it's like music that is, quite repellent in a lot of ways, and that is exactly what Scaring the Hose is designed to be. It is music that is that same kind of. Actually, it's a lot like Health and Nine Inch Nails in that regard, where it's very industrial sounding. It doesn't rely too much on like features, and it doesn't have loads of like very recognizable samples and that kind of stuff. It is an album which they're trying to make it as difficult to listen to as possible in a lot of ways. Very anti what you expect from a rap album, but because it's so fucking weird, you kind of are like compelled to listen more and like try and understand what the hell is going on. And sometimes it's got something to say. Oftentimes it's just like, how can we make this the most bizarre thing possible? And it becomes a very unique and kind of like distinct release in the landscape of music. They lean on like cultural touchstones as well. Like there's tracks called Lean Beef Patty, which is a reference to obviously Lean Beef Patty. There's Stepper Pig.
That's good.
Kingdom Hearts Key, which is quite funny.
Really good. It's a good track.
Jack Harlow Combo Mill. That's a good name. And then they have like a set of additional tracks that they called DLC track listing.
Nice.
And there's one track which is just called no, and it's just that for like it is a bizarre and very like you will either absolutely love it or you will absolutely despise it. But regardless of where you fall, you will be like, I've never heard anything like that. It's insane.
That's cool.
I love it. Yeah.
Into that.
Lucy.
So my next thing Okay, so I read a book called My Dog Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. I want to get the name out there. And it was one of those really heavy books that I adored but kind of never wanted to touch again. So earlier in the year, I read Lolita for the first time. And Lolita is an incredible book about the worst thing possible.
Mm-hmm.
And it is awful. And you read it through the eyes of Humbert, who the pedophile, basically. So there's that. Everyone knows about Lolita. My Dog Vanessa.
I don't know what that is.
We got a time crunch, Bacalar. We don't
I'm
have
sorry.
time.
I guess I have to Google something. Incognito, I guess.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Oh, God. Anyway,
sorry. I don't know. What do you want from me?
I can't tell if this is a bit or not.
It's not a bit.
Okay, you Google that. My Dog
Careful,
Vanessa
Google,
is...
yes.
Just
not
Google,
be enough to help
Google
you there.
Lolita book.
Okay,
Anyway.
yes, there you go.
Yeah, so my Dog Vanessa is about a girl, and the prose references Lolita a lot. And when she's 15, she is essentially groomed by her teacher, but as a 15-year-old, she's like, I'm falling in love with him. He thinks I'm so mature. They have this relationship for years. And then it's a split timeline of when she is 30 and he is being exposed in the papers. Like, it is all coming out. Someone's gone to the authorities and he gets back into her life. And it is so well written. And I think, as a girl who, when you are that age, you always look up to and you kind of fancy the older guys and seeing how that works. And it just, it was really well written. I immediately told all my female friends to read it. And it's a heavy one, especially doing it in a double bill with Lolita.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot.
But it was one of the best things I read last year.
Nice.
So wait, I'm sorry. So you, you didn't read Lolita. You read something else.
No, I
read Lolita first, and then this in a double bill.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I now know the things we're talking about.
Good.
Okay. Good.
All right.
That's
Back
all I
to
have
you,
say.
Grub. You're number 3.
Yes.
Third thing.
I was on TikTok and I kept getting these videos of these people doing this really cool dance, and I liked the music, and I was like, what is this? And I had to kind of look around to figure out what it was. It's called Back on 74 by Jungle. Back on 74 is it's a song, but the dance is like this dance troupe that does the dances for all the music videos for this band called Jungle. And it is really, really well done dancing, to the point where I think it's highly skilled, and I think people who are into street dancing would can appreciate it. But it's done with such a beauty that it's very easy for a layperson like myself to look and be like, the way they are moving their bodies is very enticing, and it's attractive, but it's also probably telling a story, and it makes you want to get up and dance. And I watched this probably 100 times over the course of a week. You probably, if you watch this, you'll probably recognize it, because I bet it's come up on your Instagrams and stuff like that. But yeah, Back on 74 by Jungle. It's a really good song too. The music's great, but every time I hear the song, I just want to go watch the video because I want to see the dancing. And it just makes you kind of want to move your bodies in ways you haven't moved it before. So yeah, I just highly recommend.
Jeff Bacalar, back to you.
The bear. The bear. The bear is a master class in storytelling and episodic television. And the most recent season includes what I believe to be one of the best episodes of television ever conceived by humans. There's nothing else to say. It's a phenomenal show with phenomenal performances and one of the most, I'd say this about the second season more than the first season, but one of the most easiest shows to watch because of how intoxicating it is. And it's getting all these awards because it's the fucking best. It's a rare thing when that lines up, but in the case of the bear, it's true. It deserves everything and more. A phenomenal cast. Everyone is so lovable and likable, and that's it. You've probably heard of this show.
Yes.
You don't live under a rock.
Bacalar and I have probably talked about it ad nauseum as well.
Yep, it's true. That's all there is to it. Go watch The Bear if you haven't.
The third thing on my list was Godzilla -1. I'll skip to the next one. I'm a big fan. This is another movie I'm a big Marvel fan, and last year was a terrible year for Marvel fans, specifically the MCU. Just
why is that?
Just bad films after bad films after bad projects.
Okay.
But I think the best Marvel film and best superhero film to come out last year was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and it's actually a satisfying conclusion to that specific trilogy. Y'all know that I love the Guardians game. This is just building on top of that in terms of like found family stuff and kind of departing, but departing on your own terms in a good way. And yeah, if any of those first two movies appealed to you at all, I definitely recommend checking out the third one. I don't think you even need to be up to date with all the other shit happening. You don't need to have seen Endgame or Infinity War to understand, or the Marvels, any of them, to understand that, oh, shit's happened. People got fucked up. Maybe you should watch the Christmas special, actually. The Christmas special is actually pretty
fun.
Sweet.
Disney Plus.
And hey, anything with Dave Bautista, automatic list thing for me.
I've not watched this. As someone who was a huge MCU fan, I just kind of was like, I'm done with it. Even Guardians, like I never could have imagined a world where I wouldn't watch that. But I'm gonna make time for this in the next week or so.
I don't think
I need to
the
finally
gimmicks
watch it.
should watch it with you though, Grub.
Yeah, no, I've heard that. Yes, I've also. I think it's one of the things that kind of kept me away from it. Is like I'm kind of an exposed nerve with a lot of stuff that's very emotional or deals with like a lot of trauma, and I'm like, it can be tough for me sometimes. So I think I mostly avoided it for that. But I think I'm ready. I'm ready to love.
Yeah, and then that I don't like projecting too many times like myself or like my life onto characters or whatever, but it just winds up inevitably happening. And then the way that movie concludes with specific characters having to kind of start anew reminds me of my own life sometimes. Damn.
All right, let's get gross.
Oh, I already saw you prepping it.
Did you say let's get gross?
God.
My favorite thing. Let me tell you about my visual Wi-Fi Air endoscope.
Oh no!
Oh yes!
Wait, why are you saying yes?
Which allows me to look inside my ear. It's like,
so for audio listeners, he just stuck it into his ear, and then he held up his phone without consent and showed me his ear canal.
Have you ever had someone like trench coat on the street you a colonoscopy? What the fuck are you doing, man?
let me tell you, this thing is incredible. It cost me like $30 on Amazon.
Why do you need this?
And
why do you need this?
You know what? I just wanted to see what's up.
I just want to do it in my head. Get out of here.
And now I can very carefully clean my own ear.
Point chat says nice ear ussy.
No.
Congratulations on that.
Go to an ENT.
No,
I
can do this myself.
Wait, isn't it dangerous? Aren't you like?
No. I would never let someone rob me of the joy of cleaning out my own ear.
Guess what, everyone?
Dude, do you know what?
You are one of these pimple popper video people, aren't you?
Yes,
hey.
100%.
You fucking creeps.
I just wanted to see. Listen, I just wanted to know what's going on in there. Okay, I just wanted to see what is happening. Let me tell you, my ear is surprisingly clean always, but every now and then I go in there and I'm like, ooh.
Oh yeah, cool.
Spelunking,
cool.
baby.
And then I get my cat and I go, "Come here, kitty. Time to look inside your brain as well."
No, I don't
do that to a cat. What the hell's the matter with you?
No, never.
Who wants to see the inside of my nose?
No, let's go. Well, you guys are so. I'm sorry, I can't get on board.
Oh, my tummy hurts.
We'll see a pack. Well, we'll show you.
I'm gonna bring this to PAX, and Jan will put it up on the screen.
No, you're not.
Okay, Lucy James.
We cannot reward these sickos.
You know what the best thing about this is? On the app, you can press the button, take a screenshot at any point. So you can just be like, "This is disgusting."
Wait, okay, I have a question about this. I have a question. Does it like fucking? Is that like a cleaning mechanism on it?
Yeah. It's got like this tip, which is like a kind of rubberized tip.
Thanks for saying it, Lucy.
And you get different attachments for it depending on how
What are you
how
laughing
hard
at?
you need to spelunk.
I see it came with a pee hole attachment, didn't it? Now, okay, very good.
I don't feel so good.
Why is Jeff making this weird?
I'm sorry. I'm the weirdo now. I'm talking about sticking a camera in your dick hole, but this guy has like literally. Come on,
Lucy.
Come
on. What's the next thing?
Everyone takes the piss until they start doing it, and then you're like, oh, this is.
You're like, oh, sorry, that's a bridge too far back, Laura. I can't.
Pretty good.
Jen, you okay?
I don't feel so good, Mr. Stone.
Yeah, I don't feel well either. I'm sorry I had to go to that.
You never feel well. That's your normal state of being. I'm worried about Jan now.
All right. Lucy has a show and tell.
So I went to Amsterdam with my friends in November because my friend Kristen moved over there. And while we were there, we went to like a little shop on the corner, and my friend Jen got this. It's a little tube of cheese.
Okay. I like the chef hat cap. That's awesome.
And she was
oh, that's cute.
Intrigued by it because it's a little chef on the tube, and then the hat is the cap of the thing. And then I'm going to open it now because my friend Kristen is coming over to the States, and she has been sending us pictures because she's been buying some of these to bring for us, because we ate so much tube cheese that he ran out in the shop.
Tube cheese. You ate tube cheese?
Tube cheese. And for British people, it's basically Dairy Lee, but in a tube.
Wait, what is that? Like, what did you just say?
Yeah, I don't know what Dairy Lee is.
It's just a type of cheese, like a soft cheese.
Who's Dairy Lee? Oh, okay.
Is it like
Dairy Lee is the brand? Well,
do you know what easy cheese is?
No, but I assume it's similar. But because it's European, it doesn't kill my insides. Like
it's probably real.
It doesn't come in an aerosol can, and so then fuck it. I don't need that. Yeah, I'll just huff my easy cheese instead.
And I'm not being funny. We may have just drank a lot of wine, had some weed, and just ate cheese.
No, that sounds like a time.
Okay.
So
let's do that at summer camp.
Danish chef cheese spread, natural flavor. There was a garlic one, I think.
Real.
I'm just eating this.
It looks great. Yeah, that looks real good.
We had looked into importing it, but we'd have to pay a lot of money. So if anyone has a hookup for this cheese, let me know.
Chef Grub.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, I have a couple of movies I think fit together, and then I have another batch. I'll do that the next time around. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem was very surprising how good it was. Very entertaining. I enjoyed it. The kids loved it. And it's like it just has a really good style, a ton of great energy, and then it kind of tries to capture the magic of the Spider-Verse movies, and it's nothing's going to quite reach that level. That's fine. It like definitely should be lauded for where it does get to. It's just high quality storytelling, and it feels like it respects the material. Even though personally, I like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't need them to be respected. So to see someone come in and be like, no, we love these characters and we're going to treat them right. It's like, oh yeah, I guess you really can tell awesome stories with these characters. That's awesome. And then Across the Spider-Verse is somehow better than the first Spider-Verse movie. That's like surprising that it is that way. Every new character they introduce is fantastic. The stakes they set up for Miles and the sort of him trying to figure out what's going on was very entertaining. And then the action is just so beautiful because every time these characters are interacting with one another, you're seeing all these clashes of styles, and those styles obviously represent character traits. And it's just having it like so boldly visualized, somehow it still feels subtle and really like it's done with a deft hand. Just really great storytelling.
Nice.
Yeah. I can't believe we did that.
Yeah.
Right? Like good, poor things and that. How do we do all that? How do we do that?
Yep. It's really impressive.
Mr. Backler, next thing on your list.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Let's see. Let me just skip over all the gross body horror that was on my list.
Fine.
Okay.
Body horror is fine.
Number 12 on my list is Dispensaries. New Jersey passed the recreational marijuana law a few years back, and only recently have we started to take advantage of this new legislation. And let me tell you, it's pretty fucking great. And I assume it's bringing in tons of tax dollars. I don't know. I don't claim to know, and I'm not about to research whether or not it is. But I do think it's a long time coming. I can't believe I had to turn 40 fucking years old before marijuana would be legalized where I live. Thank you. And no, I think it's been an interesting experience, especially with like bringing Stacy to her first dispensary ever was a really fun and hilarious experience. And I still think it has a lot of normalizing to do and to achieve, but I think it's pretty great now. So I know.
Congratulations.
We're all
thrilled for you.
Yep.
Some low hanging fruit. I'm aware, but Dispensaries number 18 on my list.
There we go.
Thank you.
There we go. Oh, what was that?
That's what I thought.
The next thing on my list, I believe, this is the last like TV show or film on my little top 10 here. Beef from Netflix. Ali Wong, Stephen Yeun.
All of it.
So good.
Jesus Christ, it is like a fever dream of anger the whole time. And I think it just properly demonstrates how amazing Stephen Yeun is as an actor.
Oh my God.
It
good.
Absolutely shows off his range. It is unfair. Also, the show got me to try again for the first time in literally decades the shitty long chicken sandwich from Burger King. Let me tell you, it has not changed. It is just a brick of sodium.
Correct.
And I felt terrible afterwards. But yeah, Beef. And I'm so glad that they're getting their flowers in this award season for it. Also, it's like amazing to see Asian Americans winning big in these big awards, and representation matters. They mentioned several times the Filipinos helping them in jail. And let me tell you, if I ever got locked up, Stephen Yeun, I'd help you in jail.
Hell yeah.
There we go.
I'm not Filipino, but I'd help you.
There we go. Tam's honorary.
Yeah. Pakistanis are South Asian Filipinos.
Yeah, there we go. Tam,
There you go.
next thing on your list.
Have you ever looked at the grime underneath your fingernails?
Oh my God!
No, I'm kidding. I was gonna actually give a shout out to a YouTube channel that I really, really have been enjoying a lot. It's not. I mean, it's fairly popular. It's got 100,000 subscribers, but it is. It gave me something that I really, really wanted and needed, which is more Souls lore. And it's a channel called The Brothers Code. And they effectively do what many others do, and they just do like lore videos. But they go like extremely in depth. Like they are, for example, they have an Elden Ring ending video, which is 2 hours long. They have the complete story of Dark Souls 3, which is 4.5 hours long. And what they do is they don't just like talk about, and then this happened and that happened. They rewrite the story and their narration of it into a story in itself. So they almost like present this whole kind of like story of Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, Bloodborne, even Last of Us, but as narrators of that story, and also explore and explains parts of the story that others may not focus in on. But I've been listening to that the Dark Souls 3 one especially pretty much every night for the last 1.5 to 2 years, because it is just like they also have quite a unique voice. There's two people who narrate it, which I assume are brothers, because it's called The Brothers Code, but who knows, maybe I'm wrong. And they have very interesting voices in the same way that Avati has this like very deep and like bassy voice. These guys have like a tenor and a tone and a pitch to a cadence to the way they deliver that is at times very strange, but also like weirdly compelling to listen to. But yeah, it is a channel that I adore. Like, and honestly, I can tell you, like, I only watch the From stuff they do. They also have stuff like stuff about For Honor and stuff like that. But I'm specifically focused on the FromSoft. So they have the complete Demon. So the latest video was the Demon Souls story explained. They've got the Elden Ring ending, the Elden Ring story explained. They've got Sekiro, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, Bloodborne, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and The Last of Us. I can't recommend the Dark Souls 3 one enough. It is 4 hours, but I've seen it maybe 30 or 40 times over and over again. And it's fantastic.
Love it. Love it. Lucy, I know that you have a heart out.
I got a quick one that I can't believe hasn't come up yet. Succession season 4.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I honestly cannot believe that they pulled it off. I was so not worried. I just think when a show has been that consistently good, I don't think there's a single duff episode of Succession. Sure. And I was really, really concerned with how it would, like, I really didn't want it to drop the ball at the end. And we would do, like, so me, Tam, and our friends Andrew and Joey, we would do weekly watch parties. And we would also then watch Succession, but then we would watch, it started out by watching Pride and Prejudice, and we would just watch loads of costume dramas. So we kind of we're going to do a bunch of them. But I loved it. I'm so happy with that ending. I'm not going to spoil it in case anyone hasn't seen it yet, but I think all the performances are so, so strong. I hated and loved every single character. There was so many funny moments. Everything was tense and emotional, and I don't know jack shit about business, but I was like, oh my god, I can't believe the Matson deal, and you know, all this kind of stuff. It pulled me into this world, and everyone in it was disgusting in how they act and how they behave and how they treat even the ones that they are supposed to love. And I was so enthralled that the whole thing, the ending, wonderful, the music, beautiful. I really want to go and rewatch Peep Show now because it's Jesse Armstrong. And yeah, similar to Beef, glad they're getting their flowers. Like Kieran Culkin.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. He absolutely crushed it, and so did the rest of the cast. But yeah, Kieran Culkin. Damn. Succession season 4.
Exciting.
I'm gonna do a couple more.
Dip?
I got a dip, so I'll stop my recording and give you my love. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, Lucy.
Bye, Lucy. Everyone's goodbye to Lucy.
Emmy says bye, Lucy, as well. She says bye, Emmy. All right.
What a loser. I'm glad she's out. Boys only. Let's fucking go.
Dragging us down.
See, you are that character, Tam. Oh, I knew it. Thanks for proving my point. See, yeah. Lean into it. Lean into the dark side.
On the Netflix streaming service, there's a movie called Extraction 2.
Yes.
Yes. And it's a sequel to a movie called Extraction that I've never seen, but I saw a clip of Extraction 2. No, don't do that. I've seen a clip of Extraction 2 where like, here, we're gonna have like a 20-minute fight scene that's uncut. I'm like, okay, I'll check that out. And that movie rips. It rules. It is that one nonstop fight sequence actually is amazing. It's like if Call of Duty came to life, but it was also really good. It's such a fun time. It's a nonstop action. You'll be like, I can't believe that they're gonna still have this guy actually going in this scene. He should be dead. And then you're like, I don't care either, because it's just every time he punches somebody, it's so exciting. It's up there for me with like Commando and stuff at this point, where it's like, this is going to be an all-time action movie that I'm going to revisit for the rest of my life.
It's good. I recommend everyone watch it. If you like the action scenes from any of the John Wick films, you'll like Extraction.
Yeah, and if for me, like the barrier of entry was so much lower than a John Wick, where John Wick's like, hey, you got to care about this lore if you're going to care about any of this fighting. And I'm just like, I just can't. I'm sorry. And then Extraction 2 is like, no, here's just some dumbass shit. Watch this.
Jeff Bakalar.
I'm running out of stuff here. I'm gonna this just finished up just in time for the end of 2023 to make the list. I talk about this program a decent amount, but maybe not that much. I just want to give a shout out to LetterKenny. I don't know if anyone checks it out or what. I believe they just finished their, what was that?
Canadians.
That was a Canadian soundbite?
No, that was that was some friends saying who, because they don't know who LetterKenny is. He was about to explain it, Tam.
Yeah, no, Tam's just like insufferably bullyish, is he not? So yeah, it's a Canadian.
That was for Jan entirely.
Thanks. It's a Canadian show about these sort of like hicks and hockey players and drug addicts and weirdos and just all around strange people. And they did 12 seasons of the show, which feels like a lot of times a cross between like a Kevin Smith like TV show and
a little bit.
You're right. It just a lot of fast dialogue, a lot of inside jokes, a lot of like, wait, why? What is going on? And then
it's like a hangout show. It's like mostly people hanging out.
Show. Yeah, it is very much that. It has probably a budget in the quadruple digits, and yeah, it's just really really fun to get into. And it definitely developed this sort of cult following that has afforded it, like I said, 12 seasons. And a couple years back, I went to go see. They did like a tour, and I went to Central Jersey to watch them go do their show live. And you could tell like it's a very fun club to be a part of, and very much able to cultivate a fun little community there. So
yeah, and everyone that kind of checks in on it ends up falling in love with it. It seems like it's a really well made show.
Supremely likable characters. And just jokes that are very layered and deceptively smart and really just a lot of fun. And absolutely, as much as I compare it to Kevin Smith stuff, absolutely carving out its own kind of path in a way that I think a lot of comedies can't really do. I think they all sort of like fall into the same, bad habits of looking at the camera and doing other things that are tongue in cheek. Where LetterKenny absolutely, from a comedic standpoint, in my opinion, just sits by itself. So really funny stuff. Also, like you'll watch a season of this show, and literally nothing will happen. It'll be like 7 episodes, and you're like, I don't understand what the fuck just happened. It was just them talking about beer and stuff for 7, and you're like, but it's great. I know that's maybe not a wild endorsement, but it is absolutely fun. They have a spin-off show called Shoresy, which is just about the lowest level of professional hockey. So if you really want to get into the weeds, you can enjoy that too. That's still going while LetterKenny has finished up at the end of last year. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. I feel like these people will be moving on to do other
they're going to be
things
doing
in some
bigger
capacity.
stuff. Yes, absolutely.
Feels like that's what they're due for. I believe in the States it's on Hulu, if you're curious.
There we go. Next thing on my list, this is my show and tell of the show. I have several actually. These are the Gestura, Gestura tongs. These are the 10-inch ones. I use these every dang day for cooking and eating specifically.
Wow.
Look at those.
Yeah. These are like
eat your Doritos
skinny,
with those?
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Imagine the Snacktive things that we were goofing about like a couple of years ago, but just giant. And I use these to, like I said, I use these to cook. I use these to eat, conduct, cast spells. But these have
Cam's
replaced...
like, I want to put that in my ear.
Yeah, the shit I could fish out with that, man. Holy moly.
I also have like the 6-inch version, which are a little bit tinier, that are kind of used for plating, like in fine dining or whatever. But these have replaced chopsticks in my house for some occasional meals. Emmy and I will do like K-barbecue at the house, or we'll like grill stuff up at the house.
Those look like the pro-level Korean barbecue tongs, baby. Let's go.
And like, they're tactical enough. You can hold something delicate like chapstick and have no problem with it.
That's good.
They're expandable.
Do you have a code I can use? Do you have some sort of referral link?
I wish I did. I got these from a local knife store here in the Bay Area. But yeah, they can pick up stuff pretty wide. You can like extend them just a little bit, and they're stainless steel, dishwasher safe. Highly recommend.
Yeah,
what are they called again?
Gestura.
Gestura.
Just stir them.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, yeah, Grub. They're great for eating chips.
Yeah, I'm like, I need something because like I really hate having dirty fingers. It's a thing that like gets to me. So any chips that's like has a layer of dust on it. I'm mostly avoid those anyhow. But sometimes you find yourself like, okay, I'm giving in to temptation, and now I'm like covered in chip dust, and I hate it. Yeah. I don't eat Cheetos for that reason. So I'm gonna pick me up some of these tongs.
Great for mixing salads as well. Tam.
I'm gonna kind of go off something that Grub said earlier and say sports. Well, esports specifically. I'm not a big sports guy when I was in the UK at all. Like I didn't watch football or soccer, whatever you want to call it. Wasn't into rugby. I never cared about cricket, even though I played on a cricket team. I was just like not into it. I always preferred watching American sports, and I watched a lot of American football, and I reached a point where I was like, I don't think I like American football. It's too like broken, stop-starty, and I like the tactical element of it and the strategy involved, but it wasn't for me. Basketball was the one I always gravitated towards, and I used to play basketball at school, but it wasn't a popular sport. We just had a hoop for some reason, and I was the one kid who was like trying to put the ball through the hoop constantly. I was terrible at it, but I always had a kind of affinity for basketball, and but whenever, as I grew up, they would start to have these attempts at the NBA coming to Europe. And they'll be like, oh, the Chicago Bulls are going to be playing in London or some Wembley or something like that. And it would be like so prohibitively expensive to go see them. And any like televised matches would happen at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. at like absurd times. So I just never really got into it. It was always one of those things where I was like, I enjoy basketball when I can see it. Having moved over here, more recently, I've been able to actually engage in basketball way more. And obviously, I live in the Bay Area, and we have the Golden State Warriors, who are a 4-time team dynasty, one of the best teams of all time, I guess. And it helps to have a good team. And I have been able to go to games a lot, and I have seen a great many games this season and last season, and being able to follow basketball, especially the Golden State Warriors, it's been a very different kind of experience. I've never done anything. I listen to like Golden State Warriors focused podcasts. I listen to NBA podcasts. I like follow people on Twitter who are insiders and that kind of stuff, and it's like discovering and getting into a new world that feels kind of like video games, but I have zero experience. I don't have like the expertise. I don't have a need to think about it in a way that how do I make commentary on this analysis? How will this affect my day to day? What can I take away from this? It's just for me to enjoy it, and I've been very fortunate in that. Like I have been able to go watch matches. So I've seen Steph Curry play so many times. I've seen, Draymond play. I've seen, I've seen Clay play. I've seen Wiggins play. Like they are the local team here, and I came in at a time when Jordan Poole on the Golden State Warriors was kind of like the new kid on the block who had just started. He was like the latest entry. So I was like, I'm new to this. Jordan Poole is the youngest guy they got going. So I'm going to be a Jordan Poole fan. And I really enjoyed like the flair. And then they traded him and he turned into complete ass in the Washington Wizards. But like I've been able to and my favorite player is Gary Payton II, Gary GP2, who's just like a nice dude and he loves video games. And he he was streaming the other day Call of Duty and his setup is a fucking catastrophe, and but I was watching it and I was very fortunate in that like he does a lot of stuff with Ubisoft, for example, and our friend Yusuf works at Ubisoft and my former roommate Chastity works at Ubisoft. Numerous members of the former GameSpot team work at Ubisoft, and they were like, yo, GP2 is coming in, do you want to come and say hi? And I got to meet GP2 a few weeks ago. Great. And it was like insane. And I almost bought my GP2 jersey and that kind of stuff, and it's like it's like I said, it's a different world, and I love like watching basketball, and I love watching, I think it's such a fascinating sport, and like the skill of it, and also culturally, it's something that aligns with me way more. I think most other sports, they focus on things that I have either no interest in or I can't engage in, like soccer, football. It's a lot about like, it's very woven into British culture, which itself also is built around pubs and drinking and eating certain things that I just cannot. I don't drink. I don't like particularly enjoy going to pubs on my own unless I'm around like close friends. Baseball is the same. American football is the same, where it's like you go to eat food, which I can't eat because it's usually not catered to my, dietary needs. I don't drink. Same with like American football and that kind of stuff. Basketball is kind of like cultural connection isn't specifically food or like drinking. It's hip hop, it's sneaker culture, it is, that kind of stuff. So when I go there and like, I realized that I was in the right place, and this was the thing for me when I went to one of my first Golden State Warriors games, and the entire stadium was just filled with the music of E40, and I was like,
"Yep,
that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing."
Yeah, and like hearing "Blow the Whistle" and the San Francisco anthem, and Too Short is playing, and I'm like, this is stuff that I grew up listening to. With no connection to basketball, no connection to America. I just loved hip hop. I just loved rappers. And being able to now combine that with sports and it being such a natural fit, I feel like this is the thing that connects with me. And I've been like really, really enjoying like basketball. And I know that I'm like into it because the Golden State Warriors right now are absolutely dog shit. Like they are.
Yeah, they're in a rough spot.
They're in a bad spot. Like Steph isn't playing well. Clay's not playing well. Draymond got suspended after he fucking haymakered another player. And then they've been through tragedy as well now. Like the assistant coach had a heart attack a couple days ago, and like that canceled 2 games. And I'm still like engaged in it. And the highs and lows of sport are now hitting with me. And I'm like desperate for them to just like pull it together. Trade deadline's coming up. And I'm like, please get someone who can help us turn this around. Like my favorite player, like Gary Payton, was out for injury. He came back for 1 game and got injured in that game. And
that's sports.
Yeah. And I've just been like, fuck. I've been like, he was back for a hot minute. And like when he was back, he was incredible. He does this thing which I adore. Like every basketball player, when they like dunk on someone, they always do like the flex where they're standing over them or like something like that. Gary Payton II, he dunks on someone, lands, turns to them, looks him in the eye, and just scratches his head like this. As if he's like confused about what happened.
Do you like basketball because it's anime to you?
Yeah.
I mean, like he's trolling, and he's like got a smile on his face, and like he's just like scratching his head, like, "Did you see that?"
Oh
like,
man, that's good.
That is so funny. And right now we've got a bunch of rookies like Pajamski, who's like clearly he's like Steph Curry's understudy, and he's like incredible. He's so much fun to watch. We've got Trace Jackson Davis, who's like a tall player who they haven't had before, and he's like defending, and he's working with like Dario Saric, who they call Super Dario, and it's like I'm very excited that I have like something like this, and it's something I share with like a loved one of mine, and it's so enjoyable.
Love it.
Cool. Think about sports, it's like being able to surrender yourself to like it, because you have no control over it. So, and I like that, because it's like then when things go well, that's great. Even when things go bad, it's like I'm sticking with this team. But I just feel like I don't have to have like this professional coolness, like separation I have it with like some sports or with games. I could just fully lean into it and get really emotional about it, and I love that.
Yeah.
Jeff, back to you.
Yes, I'm up next. Okay. I like Tetris. I like the BlackBerry movie, and those are some other things I wanted to mention. But I'm gonna go with Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer actually it feels like a basic bitch answer at this point, but it really did hit me. Especially the last moment that recontextualizes the whole movie. And I'm gonna spoil it because it's still gonna be very effective, even if you haven't seen it. It's not actually gonna hurt it in any real way. But the idea that this person that has been hounding Oppenheimer for all these years and has basically ruined his life. Did so because of a petty misunderstanding because he's very myopic and he thinks all these things were about him, and nothing was ever about him. No one ever tried to make him look bad or do anything bad to him, but he couldn't see past himself because he's a myopic politician. And this story is about how Oppenheimer made the bomb and had to hand it over to people like that. And he never even considered that there are people like that out there, and that they would be the ones responsible for controlling the bomb after him. And having Einstein and Oppenheimer have this moment where they're like, we lit the atmosphere on fire, and we have to hand it over to these people, and just we can't do anything about it. Now it's out of our control, and we're helpless. And the horror on their faces, and everything that leads up to it, it's like it is a beautiful thing to be able to understand physics and the quantum world enough to be able to make this thing. And it's a really sad thing to not understand humans enough to know what that's going to mean. And the movie does a great job of capturing those two elements and putting them together and making you reckon with it.
Whoa.
Jeff Grubb definitely hears the music of the universe.
I heard the music.
That's powerful stuff.
Good movie.
I guess I got to see that, huh?
I recommend it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you like Nolan
I know
films.
what I'm getting.
Yeah.
What's that?
You like Nolan, right?
Yeah. I don't like I don't like war, so I didn't see the Dunkirk one.
So I don't either, Bacalar, and it took a little bit of convincing from Emmy for me to watch this, but we sat down and watched it and instantly fell in love.
Yeah. I'm not worried. Like I don't think I'll watch Dunkirk, but I will watch this. It's important. This feels like something important that should be shown in like high school and shit. From what, right? I feel like the lessons it has to teach are worth hearing.
Yep.
And yeah, I guess it's depressing, right? Because it's like,
oh yeah,
it's depressing because, you know, Oppenheimer, I haven't seen this movie, but you know, knowing what I know about Oppenheimer, it's sort of like you're cursed with knowing that like your work will ultimately destroy the world.
Yep,
probably.
And the way that he carries that, and the way he wants to be punished for it, and all that way that all that stuff is illustrated, it's really well done.
Think about the person that
weight. Yeah. That's some weight, huh?
Think about the person that invented the microphone, because they are inadvertently responsible for so many shitty podcasts.
That's
Not including
They
this
did
one.
this.
Yeah, that's another thing, huh?
Jeff
What's
Bacalar.
worse? I don't know.
You got another thing on your list, bud?
Let's see. The Curse. The Curse is fucking bananas. I'm watching that now, but I'm almost done, and I know I had the end kind of spoiled, and I know what happens, and I'm just sort of like, wow, that's cool. Where were we letting the Safdies do all this stuff? Why are we giving them cameras? Like, what are we doing? I love how, like, what goes through the mind of the Safdie brothers where they're like, hey, you know that feeling when you're like driving to the dentist on your way to get a root canal? What if we made all of our movies feel like that all the time? Wouldn't that be great?
They just want to share their feelings, dog.
And Hollywood's like, we love this idea. We endorse it. Here's a bunch of money. Make whatever you have on your mind. What else do I have on my list? Because we're not going to go much longer, right? I'm just going to put it.
That's right.
I did. I like this band Sleep Token that was I discovered early last year. They've been a lot of fun. Vodka martinis. I've gotten into it in a big way.
Hell yeah,
that's great. And live music. Go see live music. I finally went to a bunch of shows in 23, and it was great. If you feel comfortable going to see live music, go see live music.
There we go. Yeah, I'll just do a roundup of my last couple things as well. Next thing, another show and tell. Shin Ramen Light, folks.
Oh.
I'm a big fan of Shin Ramen. I like a little bit of spice.
Ooh.
The problem being the red kind and then the black label ones got a little bit of carbs, and your boy's trying to watch his weight and be a little bit better for himself. This has overall less calories, less carbs because of the noodling process. I believe these are air dried instead of fried noodles or whatever.
Ooh, I like it.
Same exact flavor. The noodles are just a little bit of a different texture, but if you're sodium conscious, carb conscious, calorie conscious, definitely recommend Shin Ramen Light. Asian supermarkets, most of the big box ones will have them, but I think you can also get these online. The other thing, more cooking stuff. I didn't want to bring over the whole set, but I moved recently, and I realized I need new pots and pans. And I want to live with this person for an extended period of time because I love her. So let's get virtually life-proof pans. I wound up getting an all-clad stainless steel pot and pan set. These boys, stainless steel, heavy fucking duty. It is a giant learning curve to cook with stainless steel pots and pans. You gotta let that shit heat up for so fucking long, and I still mess up eggs. I kind of miss Teflon, but I don't because I want these to last forever, because I've seen these people have had all-clad stainless steel pot and pan sets for like 40 plus years, so it's something I eventually maybe want to pass down to my kids in the future. And the last thing on my list, Tam, you're muted.
I just love the idea on your deathbed being like, son, before I go, Here's some pots and pans.
And then they'll be like, yes, I got the good one.
He's like, what about house? Can I have the house? It's pots and pans.
Bitch, we live in San Francisco. We never had a house.
I gave all my land to Michael Hyam.
Go ask Uncle Michael. And the last thing on my list is in 2023. I kept this on the DL for a little bit, but then I posted about it on my Instagram. I took an acting class for like 9 months, and I had to pause just because stuff got really busy here at GBHQ. But I highly recommend it, even if you're not looking to become an actor at all. It really teaches you a lot about human interactions and about being human. Part of the reason why last year I went through an arc of being obsessed with Spider-Man 2 is because one of the teachers was the guy that says, he's just a boy, from Spider-Man 2. He was also the calzone guy in Seinfeld. But yeah, it was really, really neat to get to meet a whole bunch of different people and just be around other artists wanting to create and do stuff.
Yeah, I just saw a great clip of God, what's his name? Ethan Hawke talking about acting and how a lot of great directors used to be actors and not many great directors used to be cinematographers. And it's like, that's kind of what making movies is being able to act and understand the expressing yourself and turning that into a work of art. And I'm like, that I found it very inspiring. And so hearing you say you got a lot out of an acting class, I'm like, maybe should I do something like that? Maybe.
I highly recommend it. Mostly also just like, gets you out of your shell, and then just like,
exactly.
I think in the middle of it, something clicked with me here of like, oh, I feel comfortable just being me now. Despite working here for 6 years, having that sudden like glass breaking thing of like, oh yeah, no, I'm just me. That's cool. Yeah, no, that's good. Tam, the rest of your list, sir.
So I will follow up your pan with some pans. I got these. I think they're called carrot or carote.
Caraway.
Non-stick is it caraway? Maybe.
Caraway.
I don't know CAROTE.
Oh, never mind. Anyway.
Yeah. These non-stick pans, which are basically, I'll put a link to them because they sound insane when you talk about them, but they're so good. It's effectively a bunch of different sized bowls that you can cook in, but you get a detachable handle.
Oh, yo!
Wow!
What you do is like you like detach it to the big like the deeper pan. You make stuff in there, and then you can like pick that up, put it on the table, just unhook the handle, and that becomes a serving bowl.
That's cool.
And then you can attach that. And like I looked at it and I was like, this seems like a fucking weird Instagram thing. That's absolutely dog shit. We got it, and it was really good. Since then, I've bought it for 2 sets of friends.
Question:
been like, this is awesome. Yeah.
Question: I like new pots and pans as much as the next person.
Mm-hmm.
But how are we doing with like non-stick stuff here? Is this legit? Like, what are we doing?
So far, I've cooked in it. Nothing has stuck.
We bought very expensive cookware about 2 years ago. I believe the brand was like Caraway or something like that. And they promised non-stick, and then a year fucking later, guess what's happening? Guess what's happening to my eggies?
I mean, I haven't had this for a year, but so far nothing has stuck. I can't tell you long term whether the coating works or whatever it may be, but the reviews are universally high. I think the only thing about it is they only come in white as far as I know, so it can get like if you're not careful, you can accidentally like scratch it. But I mean, like pots and pans are gonna get scratched.
Oh, you're supposed to only use like plastic and silicone utensils on those.
But like, come on, like the non-stick element of it seems better than anything I have. Like I've had Tefal pan stuff before that are like non-stick, and they have not been good. They like get gunked up and gross and things stick on them, but this one has been good. I highly recommend this stuff, especially the actual handle. Like for people who might be like, "Oh, this looks very unsafe." It's like a vice. It like clamps into place.
That's cool. I like that.
And it's really good.
Modular. Very interesting.
I like this.
And then the other stuff that I have is I restarted reading One Piece. And it fucking rolls. It's still the coolest shit happening in that. I think people look at One Piece and they're like, oh, it's a pirate anime. It's an anime about like a freedom fighter and a series about a freedom fighter and anti-capitalist and like the stuff that is actually happening in there, anti-government, anti-military, anti-war, like that is what Luffy and his crew are all about. It's about making a revolution happen, and it is like one of the smartest, coolest animes that has ever existed.
I think it's intimidating for a lot of people.
Yeah.
In terms of its breadth, right?
Totally.
Like I think that's what the whole.
I think it says a lot that in recent protests that you've seen the Straw Hat flag being flown. Like that says a lot about what that show and what that series is all about. And then my final thing is a little book published by Tune and Fairweather called Blood Echoes, which, as you can probably guess, is a Bloodborne. They also published another one called Abyssal Archive, and it is without a doubt the coolest book that you will be able to buy around the From Software stuff.
Cool.
Like, look
sick.
at this. This is like insane. It's got embossed like pattern design on it. You've got like these incredible artwork.
Shoot.
You can open it to any page and you will see some of the coolest shit you've ever seen. Like I opened a random page there, look at the artwork of Lena Maria. I'll pick like the paper is black. I'll pick another page, and it's all red now. That's awesome.
Oh shit.
I'll pick another one, and we've got an amygdala there. Like it is so sick. It's like it's a bunch of like essays and in-depth breakdowns about this stuff. I have one for Dark Souls as well, which is called the Abyssal Archive. It's just back there somewhere, and it is leather bound. It is, if you're a From fan, if you care about any of these games, you have to have one of these. Like it is essential to have this. You need this because it's like the kind of thing that you will. I described it as saying like it's so nice that sometimes I feel bad touching it.
Right. I know that feeling.
It's one of those things where you're just like, people will be gravitating towards it because they're like, what is this book? It looks insane. But yeah.
Love it. Greg, you want to finish off your list?
Yeah, just one last thing. My Google Pixel does this thing where it answers spam calls for me, so I never even have to hear my phone ring.
The best.
And it rules. But basically, I have stopped getting spam calls entirely. And then, then you get in the habit of not like answering anything a little bit. And it's broken me up that a little bit because when people call, the Google thing will answer for me and get people's little, hey, they'll say why they're calling. And I could just see it. And then I could break in and answer real quick. And it works. And people have started, I think people are getting used to this now. People have started like saying, oh, yeah, this is why I'm calling. And I've gotten some important calls and was able to pick it up. And then otherwise, during the day, I'm just not being bothered by incessant ringing of my phone. It rules. It has completely made the phone a much more pleasant thing to have around.
Wouldn't you put the success rate at like 95%?
Yes, definitely.
It's that high. Like
there might be some false positives, but I don't think so. It doesn't really seem like it. It seems like it's just working the way it's supposed to work.
There is some special sauce going on there too, because you're like, well, how does it know that like I should pick up this call from the mechanic, or there's something going on there. Just ask my wife about her life now, because she's got an iPhone and she fucking hates it. She
can shoot and log though.
Yeah, she's like, finally I can really adjust the colors of all my videos now. Perfectly reasonable sacrifice to switch to an iPhone. No, she hates it. She misses the Pixel, and look, sucks to suck.
Folks, I believe that does it for our top things of 2023 that aren't video games. We'll try and get the rest of Lucy's list, and maybe we'll just attach it to the show notes here.
I'm also thankful for AI. I love AI. Have you guys heard of AI?
Course, yeah.
What? Oh my gosh.
What a pivot.
So much time.
I used AI to make this list.
Go watch Extraction 2.
Go watch Extraction 2. Go watch all of these things. Go buy all these. You don't have to go buy all these things, but
clean your ears.
Clean your ears.
No, Tim.
Have no fear. Go be yourself. Thanks for joining us for a lovely week here at giantbomb.com. That's it for this week. If you missed UPF earlier, go tune in for that. We checked out Pal World. That was an experience. We've done a lot of great other things this week, as every fucking week. Am I right, boys? But next week, a lot of fun stuff popping off. As always, specific games Grub is just being encased in drawings.
Happy Monkey Day, everybody! Apparently, my kids decided today was Monkey Day. And audio listeners, I've been covered in like 50 pieces of paper that have monkeys drawn on them. Oh, you think that's funny? You think you're being funny, huh?
And with that, that's been...
Yeah, happy Monkey Day, everybody.
I have seen this moment and heard it in horror films.
Happy Monkey Day time.
Happy Monkey Day. Two like young girls scream as someone's bludgeoned to death
and
by Donkey Kong.
Monkey Day to you at home. I've been Jan. He's been Jeff. He's also been Jeff. He's been Tam. And she was Lucy. She's going to continue to be Lucy. And we'll see you next week for another lovely week here at giantbomb.com. Love you. Happy Monkey Day. Go celebrate.
Happy Monkey Day.
Eat a banana. Go wear a red tie. Go start a planet. Hide in a barrel with a bunch of your fellow monkeys. What are other monkey activities?
Monkeying around.
Monkeying around. Yeah. The Giant Bombcast.
Listening to the monkeys.
Giant Bombcast Revengeance is brought to you by Monkey Day. You celebrate next year with your kids.